Creating social media content can be huge for your business, generating new leads, but also just getting eyes on your brand. The hard part is, most of us don't come from marketing backgrounds. Spending time creating ideas, filming content, and putting it out there is really, really difficult. But with AI, we can help that. Claude Design recently came out, which can create stunning animations in your brand's color and theme. And so we can use this to create content really, really easily. In this video, I'll show you exactly how. So I post educational AI content on social media, and so I've got it to generate animations explaining different AI concepts, and then I just talk over it. Here's an example.
Did you know when you're using AI, you're actually paying for tokens? But what are they? When you send a message to ChatGPT, it actually breaks down your text not into the words that you see, but into these chunks like tokens. And it's roughly 4 characters.
And so all the animation there is generated from Claude. All I have to do is go on my phone, record over what I'm seeing here, and then chuck it out. Really quick and easy content. To get set up, all you need is a Claude license, which comes in about 40 New Zealand dollars per month. If you have the desktop version installed or you're on the browser, you just need to go onto Design on the bottom left. It's currently in beta as it was recently released, but the whole premise of this is that you load in a design system, which is your website, your logos, your branded images, font, color, theme, all the additional context around your brand. And then it allows you to create unique outputs, keeping it within your branding, such as prototyping new website landing pages, slideshow content, new documents, wireframe mapping out pieces, and the one we're going to be talking about today is animation videos. And so all we need to do is go into this design system here and click on create a new one. You can either use Claude Code if you're in Claude Code and you've got all your brand designs already set up inside of there. Probably the majority of you don't, so we can go into create here. And this allows us to drop in all the key bits of information. So it first asks us for the company name and blurb. This is for Harkness AI. We help businesses work smarter, not harder with AI. And so then I put that in there. Then I can link code. So if you've got your website code, you can link that in there as well. Or if you have it from just your computer, then you can chuck it in. If you've got any Figma design files, you paste it in there. If you've got fonts, logos, and assets, that's when you drop it into this one here. So what I'm going to do is drag on in my different logos. So I'll drag that into the add fonts, logos, and assets. All of my font information is stored on my website, so I can bring that across here. So I'm dragging that in there. And then if there's any other assets, you just dump them in there. Otherwise, if you can't, just give it some notes. Tell it the colors, use it the theme, the feelings, what other documents or references can we provide it. Because it has access to my entire website, it has my logos here as well, I'm pretty confident that the brand design is going to match. And so then we go continue to generation. Yes, it's going to take about 5 minutes, and so we can let that run. While that's waiting, we can jump back into Claude and actually get some ideas around the animations we want to do. So what you can ask it is, hey, help me come up with some ideas for some short form explainer about my business. Then this is where you need to provide it a lot more information than just that, but we'll just do that for the sake of the example. If you're already using Claude, it would have built up a lot of information, but if it doesn't know much about you, we need to provide it all that information. Who you are, who your clients are, what your social media looks like, all of that bit of information will be very useful. And so then it will come back, give us a few different ideas, and then we can copy and paste those in once we're ready to actually create those animations. And so then you can scroll through here. A really good tip is if you get customers asking the same questions, you can actually turn that into a bit of content that often a lot of other people are asking online, and that does really, really well. But if you're not sure from ideas, have a scroll through, figure out which one's best. I like that one, I'm going to copy that one across. Yeah, even the other side of it, don't pour fat down the sink, here's why. Even potentially stuff around how do you figure out if your hot water cylinder is likely to fail, or maybe you actually need to call a plumber. When I come back into my Claude design and click on my design system that I just created, we can see that's pulled back a whole bunch of information about me, my personality, and a bunch of text. I can go and edit that if I need. And as I scroll down, it's got my logos, my colors, bits from my website, buttons, fonts, pretty much everything that I have in terms of my branding is now in this design file. So that means when I create any new assets, it will all utilize this old one here. So now what we can do is go back to projects. I then want to make sure that I'm selecting my Harkness AI design system or whatever you've named it there as well. Then we want to go onto template and create an animation video. Because Claude Design is actually just creating JavaScript behind the scenes, which is code to generate these animations for us, it doesn't actually allow us to export video files out. We have to do a conversion. And so there's a website called Claude to Video, which helps out with that. And so we can upload the zip at the very end. But to start off, we want to just copy the starter prompt. And so we know that the output is going to be easily readable by the system. So we get an MP4 at the end. So I'm now just going to paste in that prompt. I've also added on the end that I want to create an animation video about don't pour fat down the sink, show it cooling and hardening into a plug, and that why you might actually need a plumber like me. I'm just going to say Harkness AI because that's the brand that it has there as well. And so that was part of the idea that Claude previously gave me. You can tweak it as much as you want, but let's get started. Just need to tick animation back on there. And so it will go tick away and create the video that you have requested. Now it comes back with the output. I've noticed something I've done wrong. I haven't told it what format I want, so it's created it into a horizontal, not vertical video, but it's fine for this demo. Make sure to say specifically if you want it for like your TikTok, Instagram short form, or you want it for your YouTube long form. It's gone all the way through and then generated this for me. And so now I can just press play and we'll see what it gets. Down the kitchen sink, it looks harmless. It's got an animation pouring fat out. Then we see the pipe that it's actually building up. And then we've got a temperature dial that as it cools down, it's hardening and then actually fully blocking up the pipe. And then the water can't get past. And then I presume it's going to come to a pitch. A blocked pipe needs a plumber. And then contact Harkness AI for a free discovery call. And that's all pulled from my brand imagery, my buttons, my font, my UI, everything. And so now I can even just post this with a bit of music. I can do a voiceover. I can add my head into it, like a talking head video. You can do whatever you want, and it can create these really on-brand assets for you. To get this to now actually be a video, because it's currently just a JavaScript animation, I'm going to go Share, click on Export, Project Archive as a zip, and click Download. Then that will pop up there, Fat Disposal Animation. Then I come back to this Claude to Video. I then click Browse Files to upload, go into the fat proposal piece, chuck it in. I want it to be 60 FPS. I want it to be 1080p. You can get it to have the little base watermark there or not, and then pass it through there as well. If you are using Claude Code, you can get Claude Code to actually do this video rendering process for you. But if you're not that technical, you can just use a free tool like this to do it as well. Once it's done, you click on download and then you can post that on any social media you want, chuck in your video editing tools, and it's all there for you. Now that seemed like quite a long process to generate just one video, but the benefit of this is we can actually generate multiple. And so if I wanted to send in the prompt, actually here are 6 different video ideas I want you to create, you can pass that through and generate them all at the same time. And so I kind of batch create the content. I go to Claude, here are my ideas around some video content. Can you get me a prompt I can pass to Claude Design? I then pass that prompt into Claude Design, get all the content and scrape it all out from there. The thing we have to remember with AI is that this is the worst it will ever be. It is moving so fast and these technologies are getting so many more updates in terms of capabilities. So you've just got to start playing around. Yes, it's useful to 80% of the way there, but who knows when the next 10 or 20% is going to come through. Already I've seen people that connect it directly to an 11 Labs API, which they've got a clone of their voice, and so they can do the voiceovers automatically, and others that use HeyGen and have a full video clone of them speaking as well, and the whole pipeline gets automated. So there's so many levels to this stuff, but you've just got to get in and start playing around and try to find what's useful for you. I'm Blake, an AI engineer based in New Zealand that's helped over 20 businesses with their AI implementation, getting real results in time savings. If you're not sure where to start, schedule a free 30-minute chat with me in the description below. Cheers.